So you can go onto Facebook and you can see comments.
It's a human's life when things go wrong, when the sun of labor and temptation is strong.
Yeah, Island Zone Radio.
Oh, okay.
You can put your phone in there. Oh my God, my Facebook says it's being updated.
Do you have an iPhone charger that I can plug into?
iPhone?
Yeah, this one.
I got it.
Let me share on desktop.
Okay, thank you.
It's a human's life when things go wrong, when the celebration and temptation strong. Into the boundary of each very man, there is no sacrifice, just a simple one. It's too into simple one.
Island, oh, I just put Island Zone Radio. Okay. Just tap on the page. Yeah, you can just share the link.
Something's looking bad. And it's no sacrifice, just a simple one. It's too into simple one. Sacrifice, just a simple one. It's too into simple
I like your haircut. Oh, it's gorgeous.
Thank you. Hello, viewers. How's it going this evening? A warm welcome and a hearty thank you to all of you for choosing to spend the next 2 hours with us. From our hearts with Radhika and Ken. A huge, huge thank you to all of you for our hearts with Radhika and Ken, family and friends. Today, it is an honor and a privilege to have with us two beautiful young ladies, Pandita Pratima Kushri Devi, Dubai, right?
Yeah.
And she's a Hindu, by the way. And we have here the beautiful Kajal Pooja Pandey. All right. So thank you, girls, for coming on this evening.
Thanks for having me.
And the topic this evening is going to be women's empowerment. So before we go on, though, on behalf of Ken Rapasad and myself, they honoring Women's Day was a success last night. We had an overwhelming crowd, and Ken is tired, so he is opting to stay out of the. He's around, but he's opting not to come on tonight. And but he will be Wednesday. We will be sending out thank yous to everyone who attended. Just a little bit of time. So tonight, this evening, as you all know, we are in the month of March, a special month of the year because yeah, it's my birthday month, but not because of all. It's the month we celebrate women internationally. Every day, Women's Month day. However, March 8th is a global day to celebrate the social, economic, and political achievements of women. During the month of March, during the month of March, let's see. During the month of March, we give a little extra attention to all of the amazing accomplishments of strong, determined women. Every woman has a story and gifts to share with the world. So get ready. This month is about honoring magnificent ladies, and we are ready to celebrate them to the fullest. This evening, I want to congratulate Ken Rapasad, my father, for his thoughtfulness in awarding approximately 20 beautiful, powerful women for their humanitarian and community service. Last night was epic with an overwhelming turnout. Kajal, thanks for coming to the event last night. You were there. Pratima, we missed you.
It was
Mhm.
beautiful. Thank you so much for having me. And Ken, thank you so much for having such a beautiful event with Auntie Radhika, for everyone to enjoy the fruits of the women empowerment that have been coming into place in our community these days. And so I was very proud and very glad to see everyone coming together and so many people in one place, just there for you as a man supporting women's empowerment, which is just beautiful. And I must commend you for it.
Mhm. Well, today again, our program is women's empowerment. Women, empower yourself to feel positive about your life, your relationships, your career, and health. And tonight, our beautiful young ladies will be sharing their knowledge and experience to enlighten us in this regard. So, Pratima, can you tell us a little bit about yourself this evening?
Sure, thank you. I'd also like to echo some of is this on? Can you all hear me? Yeah, I would just like to echo some of what my sister just said. With deepest gratitude to you, Auntie Rika, and to for organizing these to not only encouraging women but empowering them. This sets the precedence for the younger generation to to make that shift in how we even approach respect gender and sort of dismantling these ideas of programming and I'll talk more about that later. But a little bit about me. I am a Guyanese born native and to Pandit Mahendranath Dubey and to Kamla Dubey. Um, uh, to say who I am a sacred artist. I'm a Pandit. I am a daughter of this community, and I'm someone who's um, also imperfect and trying to find my way every day. But I like to think of myself as learning and rebuilding and just someone who has the greatest intention of, um, you know, doing my seva in this world and performing efforts just like this to empower and encourage people. So that's who I am.
Yeah, and Pratima, you're a youth group leader, right? And a counselor at the Beacon Summer Youth Program.
I used to be, yeah.
Used to
So that was a summer internship that I had years
Mhm.
ago. But I would say that I'm a youth empowerment leader now in
Yeah.
our community and amongst many communities as well.
And you're a community
Organizer, yeah, sorry. I'm
Mhm.
also a community organizer. It's just that there's so much to what I
to
do.
do. Yes.
Yeah, so yeah, community organizer. With that, I've organized events like Mataji Ki Chowki, which is actually coming up this Saturday. Shivka Mahima, Bhajagovindam, Awakening Shakti, among others. And so, what the intention of these satsangs are, it's to kind of continue the tradition that our ancestors would essentially host and organize in our community for us to just all come together as one community, putting aside our differences, putting aside our labels, not worrying about what this body has said about this body, about how anybody feels, but it's just
Right.
under the umbrella of poetry, art, community, and acceptance for everybody.
I've seen you and some of the work that you've been doing, and I'm completely captivated and enthralled. You just, the way you do what you do is exemplary, and I commend you. Thank
I
you.
appreciate that
And
on so many levels. Thank you so
okay,
much.
all right, and now let's get to Kajal. So, Kajal, tell us a little bit about yourself. Kajal is a young lady. She lost her dad when she was only 12 years old. And approximately 2 years ago, she lost her mom. Everybody knows that she's the daughter of our beloved Sita Pandey. So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Kajal.
So, my name is Kajal. People also know me as Pooja, as Ken
Ken
called
just
me
called
not
you.
too long ago. Glad to know both of my names are getting out there. But yes, I have been doing lots of work in the spiritual communities of teaching and helping and coaching other spiritual advisors and helping them reach the place where they need to be in order to continue helping. And I just love to call myself and label myself the helper. I believe that is what I'm meant to do on this planet, and I'm really, really good at it. Um, Apart from, of course, doing some acting, and I'm also going to be in a movie with Miss Radhika Olarte very
Oh,
soon.
yes.
She is an amazing, amazing person to work with, and it is very empowering to know that I'm here working with someone I look up to. She's a comedian, she is a humanitarian, and she is just an amazing individual inside and out.
Thank you,
And
Kajal. Thank you so much.
and I would say the same thing about an individual like Pratima, who is my sister. And what do I say?
You girls go way back since from Georgia, right?
No,
No?
no, I would say about like 8 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I met her in my own living room where she came
Ah.
by to, she's close with my dad. Auntie Sita was also
Mm-hmm.
really good friends with my dad, and they would come by and hang out. And on one lucky Friday, when I just finished doing my own havan, my own puja, which was outside in the backyard, I walked in and I saw Kajal, and that's
And
actually
clicked.
yes, clicked. I guess it's like the weird spiritual energy, the
Yes.
shakti that I
Mm-hmm.
recognized.
Yeah.
But yeah, we instantly clicked.
Yeah, I'm amazed. Like when you two are together, the energy that comes,
Mm-hmm.
there's a different kind of energy in the room.
Oh yeah, people
You
speak
know.
about it
Yeah.
all the time. We People hate us almost sometimes because they're so gooey sometimes, but it's our love for each other. We find it important to support one another because we have been through so much with other women also.
Right.
It's women's empowerment, but it's also important to speak about the fact that sometimes we bring our own down and we don't, maybe
Right.
we realize it, maybe we don't. But the thing with Pratima and I is that we pay a closer attention to one another so that we can learn how to do better for the women around us, how to have better relationships with other people around
Right.
us,
And you
the
girls
other
being
women in
so
our
young,
lives.
that's something unique that you have.
Hmm.
You don't always see that in the young girls. As you're just touching 30. You're not even 30.
I'm 30.
Okay, but you girls
We're
look
both
so
over the
young.
hill.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, the other day I saw you. I'm like, you're just in school.
Mm.
It's the dal
But
and rice to
I
keep
am
us
in
the
young.
school,
dal
so
and
the
rice.
school of life.
Oh yeah, they say what's it? Rice and dal make kudi tal,
Okay.
and
Mm.
dal and rice make kudi girl nice.
Nice.
Oh.
Okay. See,
We
so.
must have been doing the
There you
rice.
go.
That's the secret. Thank you, mom. Thank you, mom, for
So
all of the dal and rice.
let me just do a couple
Appreciate it.
shout outs to the people that are on.
Yeah.
Hi Jenny Rampad. Hi Tim. How are you doing? Thank you for logging on. My daughter Anjani Olarte. How are you, baby? Maria Harris. Oh my God, that mom is really. I had like 3 glasses yesterday. Hafiza Khan, thank you. And thank you for coming on to the show yesterday. Oh, Sakesh Chowdhury. How are you, Sakesh? Sakesh is actually my husband in the movie. What's the name of the movie? The Roti Shop? No, The Quack Doctor. I forgot which one. The Quack Doctor. Hi, Sakesh. Thank you for coming on. We also have Balika Sina Ryan Sakram is also watching. How are you doing? Hafiza Khan, Shamiza Ali. Shamiza, congratulations on your award yesterday. Thank you for coming on. Lucky Lau, good evening to you. Ken Rampasad is watching. Hi, Ken. We have Ryan Jeffrey. All right, Ryan. Um, how are you doing? We have, okay. Uh, something, you have a message from Fess. Yes. So let's get on. What does empowerment mean to you?
Yeah, what does women's empowerment mean to me? So it means coexisting in this world or existing in the world that feels comfortable to you and exhibiting whatever it is that feels right to you, so long as you're not hurting anyone. It's having the freedom of expression, and it's, to me, empowerment has sort of always been expressed in dynamics of scripture for me. You know what I mean? I grew up as a pundit's daughter, and I went to sleep with stories of like Mother Durga, in battle with Mahishasur.
Actually, that you reminded me, I'm also the granddaughter of a pandit.
Okay, so
And
you'd
my dad
understand
also
it,
did the pandit.
right?
And my mom's name is Dubey. Her last name is Dubey. But she's
Oh,
all the way from Legwan.
okay,
So,
okay.
yeah. And somebody recently asked me, are you guys related to Mahendra Dubey? I think I said, I really don't know. But I found out and I
Right.
think it's no.
Okay.
But yeah, but it's a coincidence, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So,
blended family.
Yes,
yeah,
as my
my
sister is
dad's
the
side,
as well.
my dad's side is Mirage.
Yeah.
And my mom's side is Dubey.
Okay. So
Yes.
cool.
Very blessed.
Yes. So.
But yeah, essentially, for me, empowerment has always been modeled, as as the embodiment of Shakti, the divine feminine, which brings everyone into this world. So for me, it's kind of, I would say, blasphemous.
Mm-hmm.
The restrictions, the limitations that are placed on women in this world, for centuries and eons, and that will continue to be placed on women. And those structures, Goddess knows why they exist. But for me, like I said, women's empowerment, it's the ability to express yourself in the way that makes you feel comfortable in this world.
Yeah, and what about you? What does women empowerment means to you, Kajo?
Women's empowerment. My mic. Women's empowerment for me means almost the same thing as what Pratima G was saying. Um, I feel women's empowerment is about being your best self. Sorry, I'll wait for the sound. Check? Okay. It's about being your best self and being your best self every day. And if you can be your best self, good night, Auntie Nalini. If you can be your best self, then the people around you will follow. If you do what you're meant to do and you lead by example, those around you will follow. And that's something I've done my entire life. And all of the women in my life, including Pratima Ji, have experienced that with me in a sense that I allow the women around me to be. I won't judge the women around me. I won't react towards the things they tell me. I'm not going to treat you differently if you tell me something that other people may think, that you're horrible, you're disgusting, or you're wrong, or anything like that. Because I don't believe that, because I don't have the answer for you. You have the answer for you, right? As a woman, as a man, as an individual. And so I just find that to be very important, and that's what women's empowerment means to me. It just means being the very best version of yourself and allowing others to do the same.
And why do you wish to empower women?
I wish to empower women because I've been hurt by a lot of women in my life. And if you want to help yourself, then you also have to understand that everyone else needs that healing and everyone else needs that help. And the only way you can reach there is through that empowerment. So instead of wasting your time explaining yourself, telling them things, or telling other people about them, the best thing to do is to be the best version of yourself and carry through.
Wonderful. What about you, Fatima? Why do you wish to empower
So,
women?
um, check. I just wanted to ask a quick question. Auntie Radhika, do you have kids of your
I
own?
have three kids.
Okay.
I have five grandkids.
Oh,
I
wow.
have one great grand.
Okay, well, look at that. So I asked that question now because as a mom, if you are an empowered woman and if you're surrounded by other women that want to empower you, your children will be so empowered that they will empower other people and then they will empower their children. You have children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and so forth. Now, if you are an empowered woman and if you are displaying and empowering your kids and living that lifestyle of freedom and kindness, an embodiment of empowering, of being an empowered human being, not just a woman, but how you show up in this world, you're causing a ripple effect. So for me, that is my intention, to be able to cause that ripple effect. And I'm not a perfect person, as none of us are, right?
Nobody is. Right?
But leaving room for imperfections is also empowering each other. Like
Exactly.
Kajal said, um, we live in this world where oftentimes judgment is casted, and that's a human trait. It's a reactive trait that we all have, is wanting to be judgmental of somebody else. But when you move past that, especially when you have supportive sisters who will hold room for you and who will say, okay, let's process that, not shunning you, not shaming you, rather empowering you that this is just a part of your journey and that you still have a support system. That'll leave room for someone to maybe be able to show that same kindness to somebody else. Empowerment for me is like sharing a light with someone.
Yeah, it
And
has a ripple effect,
yes,
as you say.
precisely.
Yeah, I'm lucky to have had, like, in my family,
Right.
the women in my family has been very strong.
Right.
My mom, she lost her mom at an early age, and she took care. My grandfather had this rice mill, and she was in charge of the business.
Right.
So she passed on those leadership values
Right.
to us, and to be strong, to think for yourself, and oh gosh, my phone is on. All right, let's ask a question while I do this. So, how do you empower one another?
I'll let you start.
Okay.
That's one of them, by leaving room for each other
Yes.
and not being competitive.
Mhm.
That's one.
One way that we empower one way that we empower one another is by respecting one another, respecting what each other does. We are both professionals in our own areas, although they may be similar. They're very different also. And we come to each other for advice, we come to each other for help. We come to each other with things we don't tell anyone else in this world. And it's so important to have someone in your life to be able to share these things with, someone who won't judge you, someone who will respect you, love you, and treat you for the woman that you are. In turn, you will do that to your other friends. You will do that to your sister, your mother, and treat these people as the ripple effect she was speaking of. But we also empower each other in a way that when we met, we weren't the same Fatima and Kajal you see here today. We were nowhere near it. That day when she came out of her backyard after her puja, she was finishing a puja, and she came and she saw me, and I mean, I was in my own place in life. I'm going to see her father because I'm looking for answers too. And I realized the answers are within. But if we search within ourselves together, at being at similar ages, both being children of pundits, my father pundit, we were able to answer those questions with one another, without having to worry about hating on one another, or a lot of the things that a lot of young women deal with one another on a daily basis, especially. And I noticed through the time that we've taken to become friends, to become close, and how close we've become, it is really beautiful to see and feel what we share. When my mom passed away, Pratima did a lot. She just did a lot. And she did pujas, she did prayers, she was hosting some of the Zoom meetings that we had. I'm not sure if some of you on the show were there. And Auntie Radhika was there, and maybe Ken. And it was beautiful to have her there. Everyone spoke to me and said, wow, I'm so surprised that you had Pratima do that. There were people that complained. There were people that complained that there wasn't a male pundit that did your work. And I said, well, why does it matter? She's a daughter to my mother, and she does everything that any pundit can do. She can do it too. And her father was there. Her father supported us. When the Dubé, he's like a father to me, and he's an amazing man. And just to see the way he supported his daughter to do that and empower her, that alone just meant the world to me. My mom empowered us the same way as well. Her mom empowers us as well, Auntie Kamla. I think she's watching tonight. Hi, Auntie Kamla.
Hi, Mom.
Love you. And, you know, they empower us. They see how we feel about each other. They see what we do. They see what we do for the community with each other. I'm very quiet in the community. I'm now starting to come out a little bit. But at the same time, when I do come out, I do what I can, and I show the love and I show that support. And it's only through Pratima I can do that, because she's the one that drags me out. If it wasn't for her, none of you would be seeing me here today. I'd be hiding in my house. So on to Pratima. I'd like to hear from her as well.
So how do we empower one another? It's us leaving room. It's us leaving room for us to be ourselves, and that means being able to respect every different version of each other, different faces, different modalities, and I would also say that we've had parents that have kind of instilled that into us.
Guided you on that path. Yes.
And our parents, my dad and Auntie Sita, rest her soul, they were the ones who sort of introduced us. And, you know, that bond, it was very much so reflected in how we saw them as people, you know, living with integrity. So, and I say living with integrity, and I'm not saying this, you know, to be dogmatic to everyone, but we can tend to live in a crab in a barrel mindset community, you know, where we're often gnawing at each other's throats. And the Western world calls it the sister wound, especially among women, where they don't know how to coexist without being doggish to one another, being jealous, being competitive, or gossiping. And I feel like the way that essentially I was taught by my parents, that ripple effect, is to treat your friends with integrity. And like Kajal as well, I've, you know, like we've all, you know, had lessons that we've learned from people that have hurt us, that we've hurt, that we've interacted with, and we've just left a lot of room for each other to just be our truest selves and to meet each other on that level of mutuality of, you know, I love you, you're a sister to me, and I just want to see you grow, and I want to encourage you.
You know, when I first saw you girls, it was on the Zoom for your mom, and I was very, very impressed, and that's when I fell in love with both of you, you know, and I used to go on just to hear you girls speak, and I was enthralled, as I said, and I'm so very proud of both of you, you know, for what you're doing and how far you've come along. And Kajal, I know that you lost your mom and dad, and you have had to make your own way battling, and I'm glad you have Pratima here as a sister too. Yeah. How is your battle going?
My battle is still going right now. 2 years later, I wish I could say it's going great, but it's not. I'm very much still suffering in my battle, but I'm trying to finally find some peace through the suffering that I'm going through at the moment. And some of that peace has come through things like partnering up with you and Maria in the movie, and just having a cast family apart from my friends here as well. And just basically growing my family, growing my support team, and showing me that I'm still very much loved and cared for, and I have support and love, and it empowers me as an individual. My mom, when she passed, my father passed when I was 12, and so I was left with no parents. But you see, I am very, very loving towards any other mother or father that I meet ever since I was young because of this. Her father, I would lovingly call him Pops. And there's so many people when I meet them. If I meet you, I see my mother in you, and this is just how I feel. And I feel like I may have lost her physical being, but I still have many mothers and fathers here. And if I'm going to be here, I'm still going to continue to support them, empower them, help them, and be there for them as best as I can. I work in cardiology, and I tell them every day, you're my mother, you're my father. I'm here for you because I enjoy taking care of you. I enjoy knowing that I can do that for someone, because I don't have a mother and father to do it for today.
Wow. That's very, that's very endearing, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fatima, how did you learn about women's empowerment?
Yeah, so kind of like reverting back to what I was saying earlier, that, well, actually, let me start first. My mother, Kamala Dubé, who Kajal lovingly calls Michelle Obama.
My other mommy
Is there
too.
a story behind that?
Yep, she's just a powerful
She's
woman.
just a very poised woman, But my mom is, she's a powerful woman. She's a woman that's always kind of like held her ground, and served this community alongside my father. And I would just say that she's always taught me the value of just, taking care of yourself and also taking care of those around you. And like I said, living with integrity. So that for me is how I learned about women empowerment. And then like I said, it was very modeled to me in scripture and storytelling about, the Devis, the Shaktis, the cosmic womb, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, like little programmings in words, and Navaratri, like this beautiful 9-day festival that's coming up, starting next week. It's like this is the time period where you hear the grandeur stories about the gods, like Lord Shiva and Vishnu and the gods having an ability to fight a demon. And the only way that they could actually pierce that demon was by surrendering to Shakti, by removing themselves from the ego and not thinking first about, wait, there is a cosmic energy, a force of energy, which is Devi, Shakti, and only she can vanquish these demons, this cosmic mother. Why didn't we think of this before? And so this for me was, my pathway to understanding Shakti, and my pathway to understanding what it means to be an empowered, free, powerful being.
You were recently in India, and I think it was kind of a pilgrimage, because I was following you. I was traveling with you.
Me too.
I have to say it was very, every day I look forward to seeing where you were doing, and yes. Can you share with us a little bit of your travels in this last year?
Yeah, I'd be so happy to. So I actually, yes, you're right, I was there on a pilgrimage with my mom and dad and a few other of our very close-knit family and friends. My mom, she just told me to remember my strong grandmothers, aunts, and my sisters and cousins. So yes, that's also where I've learned women empowerment, with the women on both sides of my family, my grandmothers. So thanks for that reminder, Mom. See, she's always there. And so I was actually there in India with both of my parents and some other family friends, and we were there on Yatra, pilgrimage, where we saw several Jyotirlingams, like the different holy sites dedicated to Lord Shiva for the auspicious time of Mahashivratri. And it was a very spiritual, embodied experience, and
a lot of time people have this idea, and Kajal will agree with me, that when you go to India, it's all yoga, it's all this and that, but it's really not. India, I would say it's the most vast world of reality that I could say. And I've been there before, but I would say that my mindset wasn't the same. Like, I feel like I said earlier, we have this way of judging people and scorning people. It's kind of like a programmed way of thinking. And when you go to India, you see people exhibiting so many different ways of existing. Like, I don't think that in certain places they have an idea of what single file means, you know? Like, everybody's going at the same time. And as a New Yorker, you know, coming from this very Western, like, organized way of living, it was different for me every time. But it shows me the vastness and versatility of human nature. And, you know, there's beauty in it, there's bitterness in it, but it's where we come from.
It's reality too.
Yeah.
That's what they are living.
Yeah, and recognizing that ancestrally this is where we come from, and having these different experiences of traveling from one place to another place to another place, you know, eating the way that they do, sleeping the way that they do. I mean, I'm coming from a place of privilege, though, so I'm not really having that full lived experience, but I would say that just it was a little taste of it, and for me it was so special to be able to just see things through a different lens. And I would encourage everybody, if you can, make that trip, you know, just ancestrally, to see really and truly where you come from, you know, why it is that maybe your palate takes to certain spices and where that comes from, and why certain songs, you know, and even dance moves comes to you naturally. You're going to really see where it comes from.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah.
That's so very true. Now that you're saying it, you kind of think it. Yeah, where do we get those innate customs?
Even like little attitudes, like little reactions, you know, like body movements.
Yeah.
You know, and by the way, I learned that in India, that jari is Reiki. That for me is a big deal, by the way, because, you know, I've been seeing people do jari my whole life. And when I went there, I very innocently asked someone, I was like, hey, what do you guys call jari over here? And this woman goes, what is that? And so I explained, like, the methods of putting your hands on someone, praying for them, you know, Kundalini Kriya Yoga, all of that, putting crystals on someone and praying with them. When she said Reiki, my reaction to that was, it was as blasphemous as hearing that people are charging for kirtan classes. You know, it was like, this is ancestral. This is so natural to us, and, you know, just to know that this is also a money-making industry that just comes so natural to us. It was a phenomenon to me. So y'all, when you're gyring someone, you're doing Reiki. Yes.
Wow. So, Kajal, you also lived in India for a period of time, right?
Yes.
You worked there. You were alone in the country.
Mm-hmm.
She was not in a pilgrimage or a trip. Well, maybe
life
a
is a
pilgrimage
Yeah.
to find yourself. No, that's my bad. You were on a pilgrimage to find yourself, I believe.
Yeah.
And you lived there by yourself. You worked, sustained yourself. How did India affect you? How did it change you? What did you learn?
So I lived there for 3 years. I moved out there with no one, nothing, just a little bit of savings in my pocket, and so I learned a lot by living there. I had a few jobs, some investments, and it was lovely to be able to connect with our ancestral lands. As Pratima was saying, you know, like, you connect with these things, and you always wondered why you loved certain things, why certain things just connect with you so well. For me, I think it was maybe Bollywood. I loved Bollywood movies growing up. My name is Kajal, and the other one is Pooja. So, you know, everyone would always say I'm a star gal. I just didn't believe them. I thought I just liked movies.
Hollywood soon.
Yes. Hopefully soon. So, you know, I also, you know, wanted to find myself in terms of my spirituality.
I'm a born Hindu. My father was a Pandit, and I wanted to also understand where I stand in that. I've been doing Reiki since 2013, and when I moved to India, it was 2017, I think, or 2018, and I just wanted to understand more of what I'm doing, my purpose, and also get certified in some of the areas of my study, like Reiki and yoga, and get my hours in. It was a great experience getting to understand the people and the culture that we come from and the way that they react. My favorite thing was being in the village, and being able to see how they live in the village. I would have to go to the one house in the village that had a toilet. And, you know, I brought my toilet paper all the way from America because they don't have Cottonelle.
It's different. It's certainly different.
And so I learned so much. I learned how to use the latrine, actually, after, you know, a few times, emergency situations. But the best things were, you know, doing things like delivering babies. That was one of them. Yes, I delivered babies on like some of the most auspicious holidays. One was Pagwa, Holi, and the one was Diwali, and another one was a holiday for Durga Ma. And I never felt so special in my life. No matter what I may have experienced in life, the most special feeling is to see another human coming into this world. It was just, I mean, I just remember tears flowing down my eyes and just seeing there wasn't any electricity or running water. And I'm thinking to myself, this is how our people, like this is how my people were born, my great-grandmother and my, you know, these people, and this is what we come from, and that's the beauty of it. So I would sit here and think, like, what would we do? Like, what would my people have done in Guyana? And, you know, I was there, I was helping, I got my own hands dirty, so to say, not dirty, because they could never be dirty coming out of a woman, but, you know, I got my hands into it, I got myself involved, and I loved every second of it, every second of connecting, and even looking into those babies' eyes made me feel like that was my own child, because we may not be Indian, but we are Indian at the same time. You know, we're Guyanese, we're Indo-Caribbean, we're Indo-Guyanese, and it feels so good to connect with that side of my culture. Most people, when I moved to India, told me, "Why are you going to India? You're a woman. You can't go to India." Or they would say, "You're a girl," when I'm 27 years old. "You're a girl. How can you?" And I would they say, you know, women in India get raped all the time. Rape in India is a big thing. And my reply to them would always be, women in America get raped too, in case you didn't realize it. It happens in every country in the world. And if we're here to spread our goodness, if we're here to spread women's empowerment and the message, then they need to hear it too. And everyone needs to hear it. I enjoyed going to other areas and being myself and being able to dress how I want, be how I want, and not worry about the reaction of others. Actually, when I moved to I had no hair on my head also. That was another thing. People, there's this young lady, she's wearing Western clothing, she has no hair on her head. Is she a rock star? Is she a man? Is she, I don't, nobody knew what was going on. And, you know, I just feel like being myself in a place like that really taught me a lot about being confident in my own skin, being confident in myself, and being able to connect with others around me.
So tell us a little bit about shaving your head, hair. What prompted you to do that?
So, what prompted me to shave my head was, as a Reiki master, I receive messages at times that tell me things, and at that time my spirit just kept coming to me in messages saying that I'm wearing white and that I'm bald. I would see it in visions, I would feel it, I would have dreams about it, and I didn't know why. And then over a few months, I think it took about 6 months from the beginning of that, I would just kind of realize that beauty and the standards of beauty, they're changing, and women are having a harder time expressing themselves in terms of their beauty. They're having a harder time feeling good about themselves. Women are, doing a lot of plastic surgery, which I don't have any issues with that. But it makes other women, feel less about themselves. Women might look at a picture and say, oh, this girl, oh, she's so pretty, I wish my lips were like that. But then realize they're not necessarily her lips. Or she might say, I wish I had your hair, Kajal. You have such beautiful, gorgeous, my hair would usually be very big. I have it straightened right now, but it's usually very big, curly and wavy, and it was long down to my waist. And, they would think that these things are really what beauty is. Everyone knows how to do makeup now. The makeup is the biggest thing. They put lots of makeup on. They know how to do all these different styles and different things, and it is beautiful. It is gorgeous, but sometimes other women feel less than others. And so when Breast Cancer Awareness Month was coming up, that was October, I told my mom, I don't know why, but I'm feeling like I need to shave my head. And she didn't believe me, I think, or maybe she was just like, she's having one of those moments where she's just talking. She's going to get over herself in a week. She probably told Pratima, Kajal said she's going to shave her head, but
She's going through a phase.
it's just Kajal being Kajal. But Pratima is more like, well, if it's Kajal being Kajal, then Kajal's probably going to do it. Because Kajal doesn't ever do it, says she's going to do something and not do
Empowering
it.
and supporting the decision.
Exactly.
And that's the sister of mine that will do it. And so I came.
You should tell her about the apple and the airport story.
I want you to say it.
Okay.
And so, she came to me and she said, if you wanted to do it, then you can do it, because she's thinking I won't. But when I did, I pulled up her tongue. She was simple as sun, and she just looked over at me, and I'm like thinking, is she going to be upset at me? And she smiled, and she had tears in her eyes. And everyone in the congregation began to cry as well. And they were like, you're such an amazing mother. You're so supportive. And they made her say a few words, and I said a few words, and we were just speaking about how we empower one another, and her allowing me to do that, her allowing me to go to India, to do this, these things by myself without holding me back and saying, no, you must stay with me. She's a single mother. It's really hard for her to be alone by herself, but she did it. And all of these things just kind of tie in together in a sense of, it was basically to empower the women around me and teach them hair, makeup, none of these things make you beautiful. What makes you beautiful is this. What makes you beautiful is this. And as long as you can focus on those two things and do what you're supposed to do, you're beautiful. And even if you can't do that, you're still beautiful. And
You are beautiful.
thank you.
So are you.
Thank you.
So, let's get a song now and then.
Okay.
Um,
Oh. Gotcha.
I should have been on the show tonight.
Everyone's asking for you.
This is your jam. So next we're gonna do some plugs for her event coming up this weekend. What day is it again? Friday?
So it's Saturday, March 18th. Are you coming?
Please look at that.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I've been telling her from before, we're gonna try to support her, we're gonna come and, do some dream chaser, supporting
Yes, I'm gonna shout it out.
supporting Pratima, all these things, and we'll try to bring some more people. Maybe Navin will come.
Oh, if Navin comes through, I'm gonna put him to sing.
Yeah. I ran into him yesterday. He came to her event for a little bit. And so he definitely may come too. So we'll just make sure we plug it in there, and then we'll be there on Saturday. What time on Saturday again?
We start at 4:30 p.m.
Which temple?
It's Shakti Mayama on 101 Avenue.
The same, okay.
Cottage.
1-5.
Shout out to Miss Sonia Chandani. We missed you yesterday, Sonia, but I know you had a ball at you had a blast the night before at the Chutney. Was it Chutney one? I think it was. Yeah. Hello, Ashanti Samad. How are you doing? Good night. Naomi Ramdas, how are you? Michael and Nalini Naidu. Nalini, it was such a pleasure seeing you last night.
Absolutely.
And yeah, we missed some dancing a little bit. It was a packed program, so we didn't get to participate and shake our waist a little bit there, right? As usual. Anyway, we also have Joan Johnson, our friend all the way from Canada. How are you doing, Joan? Your mom, Carmen Dubé, you want to shout out? You want to shout out her?
Hey Mom, thanks for all the, the imparted wisdom and, just everything in general. And thank you for that amazing aloo curry last night.
Love you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Amanda Khan, it was such a pleasure seeing you again last night, Amanda. I missed some cake. Pamela Prasad, hi Pam, how are you doing? And we also have Navin Ramsaran Maharaj, a white tiger on. How are you, Navin? Michael, we have Ramola Prasad. Hi, Ramola. We missed you yesterday as well. And saying, comes from within. Confidence is priceless.
Hi, Ramola. Good night.
Yeah, Ramola is also a cancer survivor,
Yes,
so
I
she
do
has
know.
gone through
I do know.
a lot. But she's such a strong woman. Too.
Yes,
She's a
most
strong,
certainly,
powerful
yeah.
woman, yeah. Ravindra, how are you, Ravindra? And we have Lisa Prasad. All right. Lisa saying strong and amazing women. And so are you, Lisa. Hats off to you. All right. Let's get with what you call the program. You shaved your head that one time, and then you opted to shave it again for mom.
Yeah, the first time I stayed bald for 6 months, and then I grew it back out, and it was about up to here, and then my mom passed away, and then I said, although my hair just grew back out, I need to do this for my mom because she means the world to me, and this is just that moment, and I felt like I lost everything, and I felt like my hair was driving me crazy. Like if I had it, I would have pulled it out because I just felt so crazy and alone and lost without her, and so doing that made me feel like I can empower myself in a sense where it gave me strength. It made me feel strong to do everything I was able to do. It made me carry through. It made me carry through her last. It helped me to carry through all of the Zooms every night, which were very difficult for me, which is amazing that I had Fatima there. I had one of my cousins, Natalie, was there doing a lot of hosting with us as well, and without them, I don't know what I would have done in terms of that, because it was very difficult. But I did that, and then I said my mom would want me to grow my hair all the way back out. So now I'm just going to grow it out as long as possible and keep her as happy as possible, wherever she may be. I know she's listening, I know she's watching, so I do what I can to make her proud.
She's always looking down on you.
Mm-hmm.
And she lives here.
Absolutely, she really does.
Yeah. So Pratima, can you tell us about your event coming up on Saturday?
Yes.
Mataji Chowki.
Yes.
So
Mataji Ki Chowki, which I would attribute to be maybe like the kickoff to a lot of who I am today in terms of development of organizing, even stepping into being a pandita, a leader in our community. The way that like I said, that I'm able to learn how to show up for my community and the different colors of our community and how different people come in and out of our community as well. But Mataji Ki Chowki is a beautiful satsang. It's a veneration to Ma Durga, and it actually kicks off to it's this big grand celebration, and Kajal can attribute it's actually really fun. It's not like your usual satsang. You're gonna have like high-powered bhajans and kirtans. You'll also hear some poetry. You'll hear different expressions. You'll be you'll be having people from different power organizations come in to bring resources to you. And essentially, the intention of this space and this event is to, like during Christmas, they say we need to bring in the Christmas spirit. So this is bringing in the Shakti spirit, this Mataji Ki Chowki. So what it does is that it gets you in the mode, it gets you in the mood, and bhajans and kirtans, it comes from a variation of Bhakti Yoga. This exchange of invoking divine energy and healing through listening to the vibrations of the dholak, the tabla, the tapu, hearing people sing it, maybe or say something that's in resonance to maybe someone else's experience. When you come to Mataji Ki Chowki, you're going to get all of those different items. It's like a set card. That's our intention, yes. Vibrationally, yes. And it's also meant to leave a you're not supposed to leave there the same person, essentially. You're supposed to leave there with a heart filled with love. You're supposed to leave there feeling like you've just met a community if it's your first time coming in, and that David has smiled with you, and voices and vibrance of everybody else being in the room. So I invite you all to please join us. The details are Saturday, March 18th at 4:30 p.m. At the Sri Shakti Mariamma Temple located on 101 Avenue, on Park, Queens. And I believe Auntie Radha will be coming.
I'll be coming there.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll be coming. I want to feel that Shakti too.
And we want to see you there too.
Yeah. All I'll be there. Come again. It's 105-20
101 Avenue at the Sri Shakti Mariamma Temple.
Let's come on out. As Gypsy, hi Gypsy, we missed you a lot last night. How are you doing?
She's actually a woman that empowers us a lot as younger women in this community. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Auntie Gypsy is also a school friend of my mom's back in Guyana. So
yeah. She is a powerful woman, and she's helping the community a lot. So
we
kudos
love
to
you, Auntie Gypsy.
Kudos to you. Yeah. We tried to get her an award, but she doesn't want to be recognized.
The humble servant.
Well, we recognize you.
Yeah, we all know who Gypsy is, and we love you. We love you, Zed. Yeah.
We see you.
I hope to see you Saturday, Auntie Gypsy.
Let's reach up there, Gypsy.
Yeah.
So, you were saying that you come to the event, and there are people who can help you, resources.
Yes.
So what are some of the resources in our community?
So I see that you actually honored a Didi of mine yesterday, Aminta Kilawan.
Oh, that's good.
Oh.
And Aminta Kilawan is one of the powerful leaders in our community, and she's actually the founder of the South Queens Women's March, which I've often said that, this is my metaphoric way of speaking, that look at the community as Devi Ma's body. And you know how whenever you look at Durga Ma, she has many arms? I would say that different organizations and people play the different arms of the divine goddess. So there's South Queens Women's March, there's Jahaji Sisters, there's Sri Devi Arts, there's Channel Oneness, Kajal, and her own organization. Sri Devi Arts is my organizing community. There's Caribbean Equality Project for the LGBTQI community that empowers trans women and queer women, and those spaces are so necessary. There's the Sri Shakti Mariamma Temple, who opened their doors for us to host Mataji Ki Chowki, that I would say is one of the most empowering spaces that have ever been, that actually welcome people to come and be themselves. Among those, there are other there are people that are unknown in this community that, just like Auntie Gypsy, that want to just do the good work and not be recognized and not fall under an umbrella of organizations. But, these are the different resources, and I would often say that if you, the United Madrasi Association as well, Vijay Ramjatan Paya, So I actually see that one of the questions here is, do men empower women? And I kind of wanted to touch on that because I'm recognizing that the steadfastness for support in our community towards women is growing. And I want to acknowledge that, from time to time we can often just feel so surrounded and clustered by the patriarchy that takes place in this world that I guess we can be blindsided that there are men in this good fight, that I would say are taking up the roles as the Shivas and Krishnas in our community. And I say that because our gods actually really revered and empowered their women and saw them as equals. Mm-hmm. So like I mentioned Shakti earlier, we have Purusha, right? So there's Shiv Shakti, and when they come together, they make this beautiful balance and wholesomeness. So there are men who I would say, like my father, Mahendranath Dubey, who has empowered me greatly. There are men like my good brother Vijay Ramjatanji. There's Mohammed Q. Amin from the Caribbean Equality Project. There's Rohan Narayan, Aminta's partner. Mm-hmm. There's Uncle Ken G, who has started this beautiful podcast. There's so many other unsung heroes that we don't even know of, but yes, men are definitely empowering women. I just want to see more of it. I want to see more dads empowering their daughters, and essentially more dads empowering their sons to be respectful.
Exactly.
And that's why I said earlier about the ripple effect about an empowered woman. If there's an empowered woman that knows the value of self-respect because she's shown that, she can also teach her sons that, who can then treat their partners right if they decide to be with a female, of course, or just exude respect in manifold ways to the world. So, yeah, I would say that in this world that there's resources even in just meeting the right friends that are resources. Because sometimes organizationally, you're going to meet certain things that don't feel good in certain spaces, even though those resources are accessible for everybody. But I would say that there are also independent people like myself and like Kajal that, will
you
sit
can
with
reach
you.
out to.
Yeah, you can definitely reach out to us and we'll do what it takes to help you to find the resources in different places if you're not comfortable.
Yeah, and in that respect, I also said last night, Ken is a person, if you need help. He's a guy, but he would help anyone who, get in contact with him.
Yes.
And through him, I help too.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there you go. Your community is your resource.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Kajal, I want to ask you, how did your mother, Sita Pandey, empower you as a woman?
Well, she not only empowered me, but every woman around her. I can very clearly say that, and I'm not jealous, Fatima. I'm not jealous. But my mom did an amazing job empowering myself and all of her daughters and her sisters and the women around her. And it's from allowing me to be my best self. I wasn't a very easy child growing up. I was the wild one out of the three daughters. And, I was one of the hot mouth, with the jokes, with, like the teachers always tell her I'm like talking too much in school or these kind of things. But my mom always chose to empower those things about me. My mom chose to find ways to make it. She's like, you like to talk? Okay. Go to church and go talk to them kids. Go speak the name of God into them since you like to talk so much. And I took her on. And I went ahead, and when I was living in Georgia, I got very deep into the youth groups there and would empower other women. And it was amazing to see because then I would maybe bring them over by my house. They'd see how my mom is with myself. And me and my sisters are very different from each other. And they would always be afraid to behave the way that I'd behaved with my mom. And I would tell them, don't ever be afraid of her. She is that woman. She will allow you to be who you wish to be. And I saw over the years that they started to feel more and more comfortable with being being more themselves around her. And I think that it's just a lot of being humble and being down to earth. She was able to instill those qualities into me, which made me the woman I am today, because now I'm very proud of myself. I love myself, and I'm able to allow and teach other women to do the same.
Wonderful. Yeah. Fatima, do you have brothers and sisters too?
Yes.
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 And they
I'm the youngest of four siblings. So I have two older sisters and a brother. Yeah.
And they're in the. You're the only pandita, or your
Yes.
brothers also follow your dad's footsteps?
No, my brother he's a tabla enthusiast,
Music.
I would say. Yeah, he's more into music, and for him that's his spirituality, is music, and it's also, you know, giving me a hard time but empowering me at the same time through it. You know, he's always had his way of helping me out and saying, "Good job, kiddo. You know, keep doing it," because I'm not going to do it. So yeah, I'm the only pandita of my dad's kids.
Are there like lots of panditas right now in the USA?
I'm pretty sure that they're, you know, they're little seeds that are blossoming here and there right now,
You think you set the path?
Oh, I wouldn't say I set the path.
I would say so.
I don't know, but I do recognize that there are women who may not necessarily identify as panditas, one right next to me, but they definitely take up space in very spiritual, empowering ways, you know. She's a pandita, by the way, in her own right. She just doesn't say it or go out and do the work in the capacity, but she does it in her own way. But I'm proud to say that, you know, even though there aren't that many, that there's now the inspiration and see that it can exist.
That is possible.
Yes.
It's possible. We will be having another song soon.
Yeah, of course.
I just want to ask you, did you experience women's empowerment while you were living in India, or
I did. When I was living in India, there was a point in time I was working in the restaurant industry. It was a bunch of restaurant owners just getting together, and the restaurant next to us had an individual who was the same age as me. She would dress however she wanted. She dressed, like Americans, basically. And if I were to dress like that in India, they would probably tell me, And I would ask her about it, and I would say, how do you feel about, being how you want, dressing how you want? And she would say, the sad part about it in India is that those who have less and those that are in more impoverished areas can't do that. But in an area of, in more like rich areas, these areas, wealthy people, they're more likely to be able to do more of what they want. And it's sad but true. I also have seen that there are more of women traveling outside of their homes and towns to go to school, which is amazing. I see more women doing that than men now. More women are educating themselves and doing what they can to uplift themselves. So I'm very proud, actually, of the women in India today doing their best to empower themselves and each other. So it's beautiful.
Lovely. And when you were there on your last trip, did you find women gaining more power?
Yes, definitely. I would say it's a mix, depending on where you are, in terms of like the knowledge of empowerment in the first place, or even like the way that things are governed in certain areas. But I would say, definitely women are taking up leadership roles. There are women who are doing, equal level jobs as men in the society. But of course, there's still this placement of gender roles and the importance of it. So it's kind of it's both. You're seeing a little
but
bit
it's
of
growing.
Both. It's growing, definitely, and that's a beautiful thing, actually, to see.
That is wonderful.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a song, a surprise song for you.
Okay. Sounds nice. I love music.
Do you sing, by the way?
Mm-hmm.
You both sing, right?
But not in public.
She sings.
I'm a shower singer.
Oh my god, she needs to stop. No, she's one of the most phenomenal singers I've ever heard in my life.
She's lying. She just sang that because we're on. Herman Singh's father-in-law. You know Herman Singh? His father-in-law. He had a band, and my mom did this with his band. And Terry did the guitar. Rick Ramdial's brother Surendra did the something like everybody that we have a connection to in the movie are in that recording, which is amazing.
You have to have that song on.
Yeah, I'm gonna I had found the record just the other day and I meant to share it with our group and I just keep forgetting. Sita Pandey, S. Ramdial and Surendra on the keyboard, drums and the arranger, Terry, and Soca Raja on the guitar. Yes, Roger Sukraj, the dola. Jake Kula and Herman Singh, that's Cindy's husband. Yeah, definitely something to talk about.
And we all love to hear this song in your mom's voice. I just saw that we have Sansan Soni Prasad. He logged on. And he, yeah, and he sang endless duets with your mom, right?
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
So tell us, what emotion does this song bring to you?
This song makes me feel like I'm 3 years old. She recorded this song really long ago. I'm not sure exactly the year, but I actually found the vinyl just the other day and meant to share it with our movie cast group, actually, as it had so many familiar names in it that we all know today. The lead vocal being my mom, of course, Sita Pandey, and the keyboards and drums arranger was actually Uncle Surendra Ramdihal. You may know his brother as well, Uncle Rick Ramdihal. The great Guyana Babu, Terry Gajraj, and Soca Raja were both the guitar and arrangers. Imagine he wasn't singing, he was doing the guitar.
Wow.
And he was great at it. and then we had
Soca or Terry?
Uncle Terry.
Wow.
And yes. And then we had Roger Sukraj doing the dolak. And the executive producers, Uncle Jay Kula, Uncle Herman Singh, lots of shout outs. Cindy, I love you. and Reishi Lal, the engineer. It was so many people in one great place. She always worked with such wonderful names. There was her. She did a lot of music with Gemini Band. There was Devendra Puran. There was Sushila Devi.
Sushila.
Such a beautiful singer. Uncle Sun, who's amazing, and we love him. And just so many great people that she worked with. There's also Uncle Anand. I've met through Mom as well, and just so many great people in our community that she's touched with her music. But when I hear a song like O Meri Sona, I feel like I'm 3 years old again. I would be a little girl going with her for these recording sessions, and she would tell me, shh, just wait, let me finish and do what I have to do. And I would wait quietly and until she was done. And so it's just an honor to be here, and it was a wonderful surprise from Uncle Ken to hear such a beautiful and nostalgic song from my mom. She was amazing. Thank you so much.
And it's also amazing the way the world goes around, because she worked with all these terrific musicians, singers, and today you are getting together with them, most of them for a movie,
Yeah.
and most of them in your community right now. Everybody is catching up and becoming one again.
Yes.
So it's like a circle.
Full
yeah,
circle,
right?
yeah,
A full
absolutely.
circle. Yeah.
Yes, I believe in the full circle always coming together, and if you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing, it's going to fall into the right place when it's supposed to.
Inspired me as a musician. I remember one of my favorite things to do was actually play harmonium to accompany Auntie Sita. I'm sure Kajol would remember these days.
Oh, yeah.
I would just go by, to hang out with Kajol, but she would be out or at work or something. And Auntie Sita would be home, and I would go by and I would crack open this harmonium, this Paul and Company harmonium that she had, which is now mine, which I call Auntie Sita. But I would just open...
She named the harmonium Auntie Sita now.
Yeah, but I would just open Auntie Sita's harmonium and we would just start playing and vibing, and Kajol would come home and sometimes I wouldn't even know. She would be like, "Hi, I'm here," but...
I have to remind them I'm
feel
here.
that she's here now too.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So we're gonna request another song from her soon
Yes,
too.
Oh, yes,
please.
please.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yes. So Pratima, do you sing only bhajans or you sing filmy songs as well?
I would say that I like to dabble in a little bit of everything. Actually, 2 nights ago, on Saturday night, this past Saturday, I actually had the privilege and honor of singing at Lincoln Center.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. With our ensemble and my family, my music family, I want to shout them out really quick. Kajol Ji, Ravi Charan, Shivo, Brandon, Shiv, and Suraj. We all went and we sang and played our hearts out. And so there were different styles of music that we actually sang that night. We did sing a little bit of bhajan. We sang chautal, we sang holy songs, we sang some filmy, we sang some qawwali. But aside from that, a love of mine is ghazal, which is Urdu poetry,
Can we hear a little bit of that? But it's going to be a cappella. We don't have
I mean, I'll only if my sister joins me, but
I already know what she wants to do.
Okay, alright. So this
Go
is
ahead.
actually, I would say, our song that we actually very first bonded over. So, it's a ghazal, Aaj Jaane Ki Zid Na Karo by Farida Khanum Ji. So I'll start and, you'll join me. हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे ऐसी बातें किया ना करो ना आज जाने की जिद ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो हाय मर जाएंगे हम तो लुट जाएंगे ऐसी बातें
किया ना करो आज जाने की जिद ना करो.
Wow, that is beautiful. I actually have goosebumps right now. It's beautiful. And you can feel that energy. So imagine what Saturday is going to be like, you know, with all
Yeah.
these beautiful...
I'm too shy to
Yes.
sing at her events. I'm too small.
No, you sing beautifully. You have a lovely
Thank
voice.
you. Thank
Yes, you should do one of your mom's, a little piece of your mom's
She'll
song
sing a little
here.
bit. She always does,
Yes.
just a little
A
bit.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yes. So Kajal, you're going to sing a little bit for
You
us
want me
tonight?
to?
Yes.
Okay.
Do a little bit of your mom, one of your
do you have
mom's songs,
a
maybe.
song?
Sing one of Mom's classics.
So I would, my mom named me after a movie song. People usually ask if I was named after the actress Kajal, but I am not named after her at all. And I'm actually named after a movie called Kajal. And the older generation might know the song that came from it, Tora Mandarapan. And she loves to sing this song. I don't even know if I know how to sing it, but I'll just do a little piece because it's the first song that came to my mind for some reason. But Tora मन दर्पण कहलाई तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाई भले बुरी सारे कर्मों को देखे और दिखाए तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाई तोरा मन दर्पण कहलाई.
Beautiful, Kajal. Yeah, you have your mom's genes there, you know.
Sure
can,
does.
yes.
Actually, I have my dad's genes. Although I sing nothing like my mom, and my style is nothing like hers, but everything like Pandit Shukji's. That's my father. And I have to shout him out for that because he gave me my voice. I wish I could say it was my mom. My sister Mira, though, however, has more similar voice like my mom.
Yes,
She sounds beautiful.
You have a little bit more of a husky voice.
Yes, that's my daddy.
Yeah, very unique too. Very
Yes,
unique voice.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Let's do a shout out. Sansan, thank you. He said great job last night. Thank you so much. My cousin Dharmendra Pashram all the way from Florida. Hi Dharmendra. Shout out to Dolly Samaru. And hi John from Queens. How are you doing? We still have that date in summer to go visit, you know. Kajal Ji, I think that's one of your friends,
yes,
right?
actually,
Yes.
she performed with me on Saturday at Lincoln Center. Hey, Kaj.
When she was shouting them out just now, she said Kajolji. She wasn't talking about me.
Yes, Kajol.
I wasn't
Miss
there.
Kajol.
Yeah, I realized you were very you were very dominant in saying you're Kajal.
I'm Kajal.
Not Kajal.
Yeah, I think you've actually heard Kajol and I sing together as well, maybe 3 more that one.
Yes.
time.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
The other
So,
night. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Hi, Ramola. Ramola Prasad. She's saying it's beautifully done.
Thank you.
Nalini said well done, Kajal.
Thank you,
Ryan
Nalini.
Lala. Hi, Ryan. How are you doing, my boy? And we have Indira Santi. Hello, Indira. She's shouting out to you, Kajal. And my friend Chitra Ramratan. She is also a singer. She's one of my Chitra and I grew up together, went to primary school together, and she always used to sing at the time. She sings at Manders, but right now I don't think she's going out that much. John says to ask you if you will change your mind on the duets between her mom and Devendra Puran that you had in YouTube at the request of Devendra Puran.
At the request, hang on.
John from Queens.
Well, I'm not sure if the radio is the best place to talk about it, but I'm sure if you give me a call, we can continue that conversation, John. Much love.
All right. We also have Ryan Lala. All right. He missed the you missed the event yesterday. We were anticipating you being there. And we have Apache Warrior. He said hi, Apache.
Hi, Apache. Good to see you. Always. You missed out the amazing Omerisona song just now and the little story after it. Be sure you check it out in the view. Much love.
At this time, I think we should be hearing another song from your mom. Do you have a request for a song?
No, I enjoy anyone.
You enjoy all of them, right?
Yeah, they're all.
She has a soothing voice
Yeah,
that you enjoy.
They're all everlasting.
She definitely does.
Anyway.
Yes. Her unique voice.
JFQ was just doing too much just now, but that's okay. If he calls me, I can talk to him. Yes, I held my composure pretty well. Did I do a good job? Yes, I did. Oh, this was the song I wanted you to play next. That's amazing.
We can play all her songs.
Oh, good. Oh my God, he used to be crazy over this one back in the day. He used to literally play in the club one time. Yeah. Early 90s, they used to play in the club. Legit. That's right, Chaitu on the guitar. He was amazing. I'll have to say something about him. He passed away. The Masana Bahar show? The second Masana Bahar show, he was killed right after he played at that show. He was killed right after that show. I was like 4 years old or something. I was really young. And he played the guitar for the song. You can hear how amazing he was. She never found a guitarist like him ever again. He was great. He was great. Apache and Terry, they were all there that night. They all remember that night. It was a night. He was one of those people. We loved him so much.
Yes, and that was in the voice of the beautiful Sita Pandey, who rests in peace. We don't say rest in peace, but whose soul, may God bless her soul. And what we have to say is that she has left a beautiful legacy, and she has left beautiful children to take up that legacy, and she will always be remembered. She will always be remembered, and she has all those vinyls and that you're finding right now that will continue throughout. We may go, but those records will still be here.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that's a beautiful. She made her name, and she's a household name. Still is a household name. I want to ask you, Pratima, what advice would you have for young girls in the community?
Right. Well, if it's okay, I'd like to actually direct this answer to all young people. Right? Because it's fair to say that in the world we live in today, that there are people who identify as very different pronouns and identities and genders and things.
I just learned about that.
Yeah. And
I'm still confused about it.
It's okay. You know what? You know what though? But I would say that being open to learning is the most beautiful thing, even if you are confused. So that's building inclusivity. But I would say that my advice to young people and people of any generation, is leave room for expansion. And if you start to feel the sense of judgment coming up for you about somebody else, I invite you to take a look at yourself and ask yourself if you're perfect in the first place, and ask yourself where it lies your goals. What is your vision for this world? I mentioned earlier that we can get so caught up in gossip, in jealousy, in focusing on what somebody else is doing and how they're thriving, and being so green-eyed about those things. That's not being empowering, even though these are very human traits. But to exhibit a sense of support and camaraderie is something that's very important. And just also seeing yourself in your own journey, in your own levels of progression, right? You can't compare yourself to other people. It's difficult. We all live very different lives. We all come from very different places. Kajal and I, while we're so similar, we're very different in so many areas, and even our perceptions on things that you would think people would argue about, we may sit there and feel sometimes very conflicted with each other, but we also understand that we're both human, and we're both seeing things from different lenses and leaving room for different perceptions, even if we may not agree with it. So just be open to your own expansion and believe in yourself. And I say that's the most important thing. Believe in yourself, because we live in a world that is healing. We live in a world that's also decolonizing ourselves. And when I say decolonizing, a lot of us are still recovering from that trauma of the Britishers and what they've done to our ancestors, and how that mindset has played out in home and how parents treat their children and what's passed down as to what's correct and what's incorrect. Allow yourself full faith and belief in yourself and the things that you desire. I say that inspirations and ideas whisper from the mind. And if you feel like there's something you want to pursue in this life, believe in it enough to make it happen for yourself, and believe in yourself and believe in your own voice. And again, if you need resources to help you, to make you feel seen, or as if you're in community, there are people here that are willing to speak to you and encourage you to find your own path.
And it's easy to find us on social media.
Yes.
And so if you have a problem, you can get help. If you don't want to go to one of the organizations, reach out to an individual, and we will try to help you to the best of our abilities.
Auntie Radhika, that just reminded me of, my dad told me that in the olden days that people had village mentality, right? That if a person is going through a turmoil, no matter how annoying those people are in the village, they'll still come through to help you. And everyone in that village are going to have different methods of approaching a problem, but their intentions are always to try to come through and help you. And I think that that's something that we need to revive in our communities. is creating these safe spaces that are not based off of judgment. Like, you're not going to look at somebody and judge something that they've done, except if it's really hurtful and heinous to our community. You know something, if I may? You know what's one way to really empower women in our community? Start speaking up against men that hurt them.
Beautifully said. Talk about that a little bit.
Perpetrators, you know? I will say that nobody in this world is perfect. And people that learn how to infiltrate and how to hurt people and cause abuse towards other people, oftentimes that has been modeled towards them. That's what they've seen in their household. Sexual violence is something that statistics have shown that a lot of the times if a person has witnessed sexual abuse or have been abused, that they're going to be programmed to think that that's okay. They're going to go and to continue that cycle in the world. And that's something that is awfully, awfully taboo in our community. And even by women, you're told to not talk about them thing. It's not nice.
Yes, you're told to shut up and
Yes.
keep it a secret as if it's something really
Right.
bad. I sometimes think it's a normal thing that they shouldn't talk about these things.
Right.
But you need to speak up. You need to speak up, get some help, because that can be traumatic.
You know, if there's also something that I want to say is that, and this might be an unpopular opinion, or this might make a lot of you really uncomfortable what I'm about to say. So trigger warning. A lot of the times when someone has experienced sexual abuse, it has come from the hands of their own family members. So I know so many friends, sisters, cousins, mothers, aunts, grandmothers, people in our community, even men.
Yes.
Even men.
Men don't talk about it,
Yes,
period,
because it's not
like
masculine.
a shame for
Right.
them. Mhm.
Where they've been hurt by trusted people in their family, uncles, brothers, grandfathers, fathers even. You know what I mean? Pundits in our community. People who you go to for, in every different community you hear about pastors, you hear about imams, and I'm not here to shame anybody. But what I'm here to do is to empower even those people who are guilty of abuse to shift your ways, right? We're not perfect, and there's psychological reasons for why people do the heinous things that they do. But that mindset alone, even if you're not physically doing it, in Hinduism, at least what I've learned is that there are 3 modes of safety, right? There is ekatva, building an inclusive society. Ahimsa, there's ahimsa, ensuring that there's no violence in that community. And violence starts from your thought process first. And if you're able to maintain those 2 things, then you're building a society based off of seva, service. And then you have succeeded building a beloved community. And so what I'm saying is that we need to reprogram ourselves in the way that we view women, the way that we view the divine feminine, and we need to start holding men in our community accountable, not attack them, because attacking people is counterproductive. But encouraging people that if you know you got a psychological problem, get help for it.
Exactly. Those are topics that are very, very dear to Ken.
I'm the, what do you call it, the wall. I'm so glad to hear you say that, because there's a saying that says, hurt people, hurt people.
Right.
So, and I totally agree with you, and one of the things that I encourage people to do, if you are hurt, if you are raped, if you're abused, assaulted, whatever you went through, I think it's important that you go and get help, so that you don't continue the process of hurting other people. Good evening to everyone. I am just sitting back, giving these ladies a chance to talk, but of course I want to empower women. Women with men, I don't know how y'all beat up these women. I want to sleep with them, but they're the best thing. They're best than sliced bread. Enjoy the rest of the show.
And Ken, I want to thank you again for last night. You did a wonderful job. Ken's list was growing by the day. I told him, Ken, you have to stop like a 10 awards. When I came back, he was like a 13, 14. And then he stopped telling me how many awards he was giving out.
And you know what? It was empowering for me to recognize women in our community who have really done great things. And like I said, someone asked me this morning, Ken, did you wake up feeling different? no, I feel more empowered. I'm going to do great things for women and for men too. And guess what? As I was sitting down listening, I have something great. For people who passed away, I'm going to make them live again. You are watching From Our Hearts with Radhika and Ken right here on Island Zone Radio.
Right.
You saw his hand there? He came. He was here.
All right. So, pretty much just want you to shout that back again. We're going to play another song. About the Mata K Chunky.
Yes.
So people know where we have to go on Saturday afternoon.
Where we have to go.
We have a date. We have a date. So we will all meet up there.
Yes, it's a spiritual, empowering, powerful moment. Mataji Ki Chauki, which is our annual pre-Mahanavaratri celebration where everybody is invited under this one umbrella, this one universal cosmic energetic home. And it's going to be Saturday, March 18th at 4:30 p.m. at the Sri Shakti Mariamma Temple, 105-20 101 Avenue. We encourage you, if you feel like you want to do this, we all like to dress in red, come through and show our love for community as we're all cut from the same cloth. So, yes, Jai Mataji. Hope to see you there.
Jai Mataji. That's beautiful. I already have my red outfit in mind.
I gotta go look for mine.
One that I never used before. I didn't think I was going to use red. So.
Oh, well, now you
Yes.
are.
Welcome.
Yeah.
And red looks lovely on you, so it'll work.
Thank you.
Great. I loved it. Thank you.
I realized being so sugarcoating.
That thing sounds familiar. I think I
So thank you so much, Fatima, for bringing up that subject, and we would like you girls to come back on another day to touch subjects such as you said, domestic abuse
Yes,
and all
sexual
these
violence.
different sexual violence.
Right.
And you know, I recently read a book. It's called Spilled Milk,
Okay.
and the girl, she was abused by her own father,
Right.
and she did not know it was a wrong thing to do
Right.
until, you know, and the father was violent with the kids and everything. So until she was at somebody's house and the milk spilled, and she was waiting for the father to get up and hit the kid and be violent about it. And she went and like she was trying to protect the person,
Right.
and she saw nothing happen. And she's like, something,
Right.
why
Right.
did this person get violent, and why in my house it's different?
Mhm.
So some people don't even know there's a different life.
Right.
There's a difference.
Oh yeah.
So we would love to have you girls back on another day with, you know, some of these interesting
Absolutely.
topics. Ken didn't, you know, he's tired from last night a little bit too. And but we would love to have it. I love it. As they say, a woman with a voice is by definition a strong woman. And here we have two strong, beautiful women. Yeah. So I just want to say, yeah, we all right. We have 10 minutes more on the clock. What else would you like to say to the viewers?
I actually wanted to thank Uncle Kent's, the women in his family for also supporting him and giving him, you know, all of the encouragement to continue with these efforts. You know, thank you to you, you know, Auntie Gita, for also opening your home to make these discussions possible. So that's what I wanted to say.
It's absolutely important.
Following my footsteps.
All right. Yeah, Ken wants you to follow your mom's footsteps.
Oh, I'm working on it. You know, I can only do the best by making her proud, but I also have to be my own individual. So as I follow in her footsteps, I will also make my own as well.
That's the way to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I want to shout out to Chan Kandasamy. Good night. How are you doing? Usha Devi Azimova. All right, she's calling in from Wisconsin, the cheese state. Oh,
Wisconsin.
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 Yeah. My eyes, I can't see tonight.
It's okay.
And, all right. And
Send us some cheese.
Debbie Sanasi, the girls are asking for cheese over here. Yeah. Also, Kamnawati Sharma. All right, she's missing out on the shows, but they're singing Chautal every night. Okay, that's beautiful. That's time well spent as well. We also have Ryan. Ryan, we missed you, but we'll have you next time. And Ken was talking too much last night, so he lost his voice. That's what Mike Connolly says. Hello, Debbie. All right, so what do you want to say to your viewers?
What I want to say is stay strong in your beliefs. Don't allow anyone to tell you need to be women. You can empower yourself, and that's where you have to start. You can empower others. You can be outside at events with other people, but it really starts from here. And if you don't start with yourself, you're unable to go any further with anyone else. So please, from today, let's take a good look within. And J-ho to all of you. All victorious.
Beautifully said. Well, yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine today, actually, another friend, and I was actually sharing that I've in my meditations, in my morning puja, that there was this one inspiration that dawned upon me, and it was this realization of, do you know how much energy it takes and how much oxygen it takes to create one word or one sound from the human body? So I thought, to interact with people who sometimes serve no purpose in your life is such a waste of energy. To argue with people senselessly, or to repeat yourself over and over again to people who give you deaf ears, is such a waste of energy. So respect the energy from within yourself, sit with yourself, believe in your voice, and find a worthiness of and I'm using this as an example because this is just to muster words. Imagine if you valued your energy, your breath, your time, your thoughts so much, how much that will serve you in this world where people are constantly trying to tear you down. You'll show up as such an empowered person. So respect the elements that create you as a human, not even as a gender, not even as a name, not even as a person with skin color or whatever, the things that, you know, mankind has created to separate us as human beings. I also saw this really cute video today of this man sharing wisdom that said, there are different brands of water, but it's all selling water. And in each of those bottles, you can color the bottles as green, white, pink, and all of these different things. But inside of those vessels is water. The existence that binds us all together are the 5 elements, and water is one of them. When you take away the skin color, the height difference, the religion, we're all really one.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So
that's very deep.
Thank
very
you.
Profound.
So tapping into these realizations, it'll help you to move past little things like judgment. It'll help you to move past little things like trying to compete with somebody else, teaching your children competitive. Healthy competition is important because to live in this world we must survive. But don't step on somebody else just to make yourself feel better because you are made up of those same elements.
I love that. I love that. There's space for everybody, and
Yes.
there's space for everybody, and everybody has their own time. Everybody can shine in their own way. You don't need to compete. Everybody has that Shakti in them that comes out, as you say.
Right.
All right. I just want to say that it's still a little bit of a man's world today, right? Although we women have come a very long way, and I would say at this point we are gaining. We're still running neck to neck, but I think we're gaining points there. There is something special about women who dominate in a man's world, right? You know, it makes you
Or
feel
who
powerful.
take up space.
Yes.
Take up space.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes certain grace, you know, strength, intelligence, fearlessness, and the nerve to never take no for an answer. Yeah, ladies, I do not wish women to have power over men. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
But over themselves, have the power over yourself. So when, and then where there is a woman, there is magic. There's always magic. I'm certainly grateful to be a woman.
Yes.
And I must have done something good in my past life, I think, you know. You know, it is said, if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman, and it gets done. There is no limit to what a woman can accomplish. And as Oprah said, think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. Failure is just another stepping stone to greatness. All right, let me get your thoughts.
As women today, I feel that it's very important to understand yourself. It all starts with your family. And I have 2 sisters and a brother, and then there's my father. One thing I say is my dad, for the short time he lived, did a lot to empower us as his daughters, to teach us certain things that most fathers don't speak about, or taboos, and ways to show us how a woman should be treated, regardless of what she decides to do with her life, who she decides to love, and where she decides to go in life. And so my message to the men listening tonight is empower your brothers, empower your sisters, empower your mother and your children. Right. Remember that every woman is an extension of your own daughter, every woman is an extension of your own mother, and every woman is an extension of your goddess.
Beautiful.
You must worship her as you worship yourself. If you can love yourself, then you're able to love the world. So let's focus on self-love, and then also focus on loving each other. Thank you.
Radhika, any input?
I mean, there's so much.
There's so much input, right? We need another show for
Yeah.
that.
We need another 2
Another
hours.
2 hours, right?
I mean-
You were saying, are we on for 2 hours? I tell you, it goes really fast. So I just want to shout out to Delari Sigovin, that's Sister Doreen, that's your aunt. Thank you so much for putting off your trip back home. She came from Guyana. She was supposed to go home, and Ken kept her back for last night's show. So you delayed her since Thursday,
Yeah.
and she went back today. Thank you so much for staying with us. And we also have Stella Hari Prasad. She said that she is so happy to see you, Kajal, and you brought back a lot of memories of your dad who she taught at Belvedere Primary School as a young teacher. And
Wow, I'd love to
you're
meet you
amazing.
someday.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have Osha Devi. Hi, I said, how are you again? And Mala Siram Rahman. Good night. How are you? Rose Sohan. Rose, my friend. I think she's in Florida right now. And Veronica Jaglal. Hi, how are you? How's everybody doing? I hope in New York here it was raining. It was a bit cold, but it's kind of warm in here. And having all of you here makes our hearts very warm. So I just want to make another comment before you play the song. So being woman feminism isn't about making women strong. Women are already strong, right? It's about changing the way the world perceives that strength, right? Women are the real architects of society, if you look at it. The strong woman behind the man. The man is considered the head of the household, and we consider the neck. We turn you in the right direction if you listen to us. So guys, listen, right? And what I want to say, that we are charged, ladies, remember, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. You yourself know. If you make somebody make you feel inferior, then you need to work on your strength, on your ability, and do not live someone else's life and someone else's idea of what womanhood should be. Womanhood is you. Womanhood is us. From, as you said, from within. Comes from within. And there is nothing stronger than a broken woman who has rebuilt herself. You know, Serena Williams said, every woman's success should be an inspiration to another woman. We are strongest when we cheer each other on.
Right.
So queens, all you queens, all you queens, fix each other's crumbs. And ladies, as you're going up those stairs, tend that hand to the lady behind you and pull her up behind you. All right. So we will be ending with a song. Do you have any parting words that you want to say?
I love you.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you.
love you. You love you. God bless your hearts and all the other vital organs. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Wait, so what do we do? Do we take it off of live from here now? Oh. No, we stay on live, right?
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for coming.
Saturday.
So my brother, his name is Stage Paul, the one who passed away, but we call him Sona.
Mm-hmm.
So when at his funeral, they,
Sana means gold.
so when he passed away, it was
Oh, this song.
this
Oh my God, really?
Merisona. Right.
That is so beautiful.
How long ago did he pass?
You ladies want some grapes?
2 years.
No, I'm okay. Show me the back.
Yeah.
September.
I've been squeezing it for now.
September 2 years.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah, still hit sometime, you know.
That leaves a void. It leaves a void.
Yeah. You know, sometimes he lived with me for a couple of, he was divorced, so after he got sick, I brought him with me. So we were together. I don't cook, and when he came to my house, I chipped in and he cooked.
Right. Aww.
He knew to cook better than me. But, yeah, so sometimes I still miss him like so much. Sometimes, you know, suddenly you see that guy and that loss sometimes. Like the song that is playing that brings back so many memories to so many.
Yeah, music is a nostalgic reverberator. So, yeah. Thank you again for this.
Your phone wasn't charging. I thought.
I was so happy when she said yes, you were coming.
Oh, of course, yeah. I was actually excited. I was like, oh my God, Auntie Radhika knows who I am. Like,
oh, I've been following you like forever. Yeah. And when we met at the Mandir, I was like, we hugged, but I'm like, he doesn't know who I am.
Yeah, I definitely know who you were. It's like when I saw you, I was like, oh my God, laugh on my belly butts right now. That's where I actually know you from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
you used to come to the shows? Or?
No, I was too young, but I remember when the DVDs came out.
Oh, you looked at the
I had
DVDs,
one, and I thought that you were so profound. Like, you didn't hear about Guyanese female comedians, you know what I mean? And I thought it was pretty cool. And they had that Tire Productions. Flat Tire Productions, and I knew you as one of the faces of that. So yeah, you definitely have been breaking barriers and creating spaces like
Did you see the
No, I didn't.
If you get a chance, look at it. I know you're busy.
We were actually gonna just go to dinner just now.
Right.
I'm a pescatarian nowadays. I just started eating fish like about a year.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
But she
I'd love to
at all.
collaborate with you on maybe like a program one day or something.
Because I would have lost that next time.
Yeah, a community-based program.
I was so happy, you know, this is the month that is dedicated to women, and every day is our day. Yeah, so I was happy when she said yes. I threw the hook.
Oh, of course.
She bit.
Yes, and I'm always here to support you in anything.
Yes, so the topics that you brought up are very interesting topics. I know Ken would love to have you.
I know that those are topics that actually make people easy, but there are things that need to be spoken about. It becomes normalized, and maybe we can help somebody feel like I love
Exactly. Those are topics that are very close to the heart.
Yeah. So I'm here.
So when you brought it up, I felt like a fan.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm just so privileged.
Yeah, let's go. Blood pressure, and I decided whether you need to change your medications, up titrate or down titrated, or if maybe it's your diet. So I'm gonna ask you like what you eat, and I'm gonna try to tell you like how to eat better, how to lower your cholesterol. A lot of my patients are, hypertension, obese, high cholesterol, diabetes. Those are like the main components of my.
Yeah, I'm stretching my legs because I was just sitting for a while.
Those are the main components.
But I have a far drive back
patients,
home.
but we have other patients.
No, mine's charging.
Nephrologist, internal medicine, vascular medicine. So I work in different areas, and then with what I do, Reiki, I work with the endocrine system. So like an endocrinologist. Really? But so I work in those areas. I'm very amazing with biology.
Oh my God! Look,
347
in the belly.
952.
Bad.
4426.
Oh.
And then I have a niece. Her name is Radhika. Radhika met we spoke about it already.
Yes.
She would love to come on and talk about things as well. She's very amazing with us. So there are different species of teaching about the food.
See, I'm learning something. I'm vegetarian, so I don't know anything about that.
It's amazing as well to learn those things.
Yes.
And to how to do different.
But I'm an all-around
It's not like
talker. I mean,
the
anything you ask me,
regular
I'm
one,
very
but-
knowledgeable.
Oh, yeah?
Right,
Yeah,
yeah,
we have like a hard
you
shell
can see how we
back,
perceive
yeah.
it both already. We're both similar in that area.
I feel you still have some hurt in you.
A lot.
You're a nurse, right?
Yeah.
So are you
Yeah,
more
no,
of
so
the
I'm a
fish
side nurse.
mama? No?
Yeah, I heard you saying something about being a nurse last night.
Yeah, when you were talking, I was paying attention. You were saying, I see that you still have some.
So
hurt
much,
feelings
yeah,
there.
absolutely. Yeah, 'cause she was the only
Oh,
person
wow.
in my life,
This,
you know, like
this
I
body
know
looks like a
the only
nightmare.
person I ever truly loved.
Is
Like,
it
I mean,
Chinchilla
because
or
my dad passed
like
when I
the
was young.
long?
My so me having been alone,
The
you
boys
know,
used to
it
get
was just me and my mom. When I moved to India, we're on the phone.
and then like a piece of
hours on the
paper,
phone,
paper,
And
so
light it and
and
you
it's
can
like,
and then
they
she
used to
passed
talk
away.
about
You know, it all happened, you know. It was just
Yeah.
so much.
When she died, I did a show on her.
Four-eyed fish
Yeah,
too.
oh,
I got a lot of views.
I
So
see
get,
four eyes.
so
I see four.
But I think they should start.
You
All
can go
the
on
fish
YouTube
has
and
four eyes.
type in
Get out,
the
for real?
camera on the side show.
Keep the pond or something.
I learned
And
so
see-
much right
yeah.
now.
Yeah,
About
I did a show.
Yeah.
You know, I had just started radio then, so I.
So is there any reason why he just stays like that?
No, he goes around.
He used to eat.
Oh.
That's what I.
So
What
we
you
had
talk
to
about the show
take him
last
out
night?
from
You-
the
What time you leave?
The show was great. I left at the end.
Oh, really?
Till the very end. Yeah, I got there at 7. And then I stayed until about I don't know, maybe like 10:30 or
Oh,
something.
really?
I was there for a while. I was there for a while.
She was there. She
I
was
left the
there
same
all
time
the
because
time.
when I was
We
leaving,
were taking
I
our
had phone
photos.
and then Uncle
Even
Son
with
came
fish,
on and I was like, oh, like, where are you guys going? Me and Radhika. And then I said, oh, we just cut our cab. So I literally canceled the cab. The cab was charging like $6 or whatever.
Oh,
And then we took a ride with Uncle Son. So I'm not sure if you saw when he left, but it was around the same time, yeah. He gave us a ride home.
I did not expect so much.
Oh my god, I was so happy for you. Oh my god, this venue is way too small.
I had a chair at my table for her by the time you
I
came.
think you're gonna get
I was first people were coming. You were
And
saving.
for the next event you may have, it's not going to be at a club or whatever. It'll be somewhere you'll need bartenders. I have bartenders for you. You know, I'll probably be bartending with you guys. I'm bartending. I have a team.
Oh, really?
I have a team. So like when I'm not available or if I want to be a part of the show or be with you guys, then I'll send them. I have a girl and a guy.
Oh, really?
My guy is the best. He's
Maybe we have to
amazing.
party
Really
hard.
well talented.
Yeah,
and
he
knows
was
what he's
gapping
doing.
with us.
Yeah, I was like, last night, I was lucky to keep my head on it. Like, everybody was pulling me, do this, do that, do this, do that, you know. Like, Jesus Christ, I was pulled
Yeah,
all
it
over
was
the place.
great last night. It was my first time ever seeing you, and so I was very impressed at your energy
You like
and
my speech,
just
right?
your speech was amazing. The love that you showed
Oh, yeah, that's what I
everyone.
want people to see.
Razi and I went home and spoke very highly of
Oh,
you
yeah,
together. So
I've never, I don't know how to
yeah, I was
take
telling
care
about
of
our
fish.
Razia wants to come and do some talking as well. She's not very good at speaking, but she's very knowledgeable, so this will help her get out there a little better with very much into the health thing.
Monday night, Lisa wants to come on to.
Well, you know, I guess I can bring mine over.
I don't know if it's the same thing.
Are you Prasad?
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay, okay.
I am. And guess what? I left I kept my notes. I keep them on
Nope, they're not gonna do it.
on Google Documents.
Yeah.
So I forget this in my car.
Oh,
And my book that I walked
before she
to.
goes to work,
Because I'm gonna take notes. And I put that focus on. So I was like going on my own. I didn't know about people. I'm like, listen. Like Radhika was, when Radhika asked me, say you got my bio, I said, listen, I ain't got no bio for nobody.
I was gonna send it to him, but he was like, no, I'll talk about you like that.
Because
and then I'm there when Rosata's asking me, where's your bio? I said,
Oh,
can you tell me that he knows what he's gonna say?
gosh.
Because he was keeping it a surprise. He didn't tell me anything
I
that
said,
he was getting. He wasn't telling me anything that I was getting.
I have two things right now.
I wasn't supposed to know, but in the end,
Like
they
while
did.
they were telling, he and Jack was talking about Sherry getting an hour, and Sherry was right here, and this is Sherry.
Mama, I got a long drive back.
Yeah, let's head out.
Yeah.
You
I'm
guys
sorry, I don't
you-
mean to be
you-
rude.
you-
No, I'm okay. I'm gonna take my bottle with me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing because
Oh, so
I'm
nice
sorry
to
that I
meet you.
will bring mine. Although I
I
asked
live in Melbourne, Long Island.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she has a way to go. But
And
we're
I
gonna
got
just chat in our
Where do
kitchen
you
in
live?
the car same
I'm
time.
on 173.
Oh, 173. Okay, so I'm gonna just drop her home. We'll like gas a little bit, and then we're gonna
And
go.
then grab